What up, people of the world? My name is Jay, and welcome to this edition of Sleight of Hand 101. Today we're going to be working on a rather simple flourish known as the fan, and a couple applications that go along with this flourish. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. By the end of this video, you will be able to perform a thumb fan, as well as what I like to call a giant fan. So let's get into it. Before we get into the actual flourish of the fan itself, I ask that you guys get a nice new and fairly clean deck of cards to work with. A lot of problems that people have when they try and do these types of flourishes is their decks are either very old or very sticky. This deck is nice and clean, nice and new. I will show you an example of a deck that I have that's very old and very sticky. You can still fan it like this, but when you try and do a regular fan, it looks like crap. And it's very old, it's got a lot of stickiness, a lot of just blotch and dirt. You really want to stray away from these types of cards. So I would suggest either buying a new deck if you don't have one. You can get a bicycle deck for fairly cheap at the store or even online. And honestly, bicycle decks that are new are just perfect for this. So grab that deck of cards, come back, and we will get started. Welcome back. Let's get on into the flourish. So, I want you guys to notice which hand you hold your deck of cards in, okay? For me, it's going to be my left hand, so that might help you. If you're in the opposite hand, just follow along in the other way. So right off the bat, I want you to notice where your thumb is. This side of the deck is what you're going to be using to start your fan, okay? So with that side that straddles the thumb, I want you guys to make an incline. Okay, relatively small. It doesn't need to be exaggerated, and you definitely don't want it to be too small. Okay, so you want to make a nice slope, just a nice incline that goes up. Okay, so where your thumb is, there's an incline. Now what you're going to do is you're going to position the cards in your hand like this. You're using your pointer and your thumb, and you're using the pad in between. So you're essentially just using this L of your hand the entire time. So you have your little incline, and you're going to kind of position the cards in a way that is more or less at an angle, I'm not really sure, probably about 45-degree angle on your hand here. Your thumb essentially is pointing at the corner of the deck here, and your pointer finger is also pointing in the same direction. These fingers kind of just lay rest. They'll be used later. The more angle that you have, the bigger the circle of the fan is. So if you have it more like this, you're going to get more of a half moon. If you have it like this, you're going to get more of a full moon, but obviously you can't get a full circle. That's not possible. Pressure is the main thing that you need here with your thumb. You need to apply just enough pressure so that you can rifle through the cards, but not too much pressure so that you can't. Practice and kind of figure it out for yourself. And honestly, it's not as hard as it seems, okay? So essentially what you're going to do at this position is you're going to take your thumb of your other hand, okay, and you're going to make contact with that incline. Now, as you apply pressure with your thumb and with your pointer finger, and we're using just the pressure here on the back of your pointer finger, as well as the pressure on the underside of your thumb here, you're going to take your other thumb and you're going to make contact with that incline that we created, okay? You're still applying pressure here. You're still applying pressure with your pointer finger. Now, as you apply that pressure, you're going to apply pressure with your thumb, and you're going to rotate the cards down. Now, this looks really sloppy. That's because I'm going very slow. But essentially, get that whole idea down that you apply pressure and you evenly distribute the cards with your other thumb. Okay. Literally what you're doing is you're rummaging through this incline. That's all you're doing, is you're rummaging up the incline. Essentially, this is what it's supposed to look like at full speed. You're just applying that pressure. We'll try that again. Make your incline. Position it about 45 degrees. The best way to notice is your thumb points at the corner of the deck, and your pointer finger is basically parallel with your thumb. Okay, so you have your incline. You have your position. You're going to apply pressure with your thumb and with the underside of your pointer finger here. And with your thumb on your other hand, you are literally just going to apply enough pressure to rotate the cards down. Okay? When you do it at full speed, it looks like this. It's nice and clean, right? As you learn this, practice it your own way. Practice with your own pressure and with your own positions and stuff like that. So I mentioned that the less angle that you put on it, the more of a half it's going to be. So this is more of a half moon, while if we were to angle it even more, we would get more of a full moon. But just keep practicing this. Keep practicing that rotation. It's really all about just learning it and getting it down for yourself and applying the right amount of pressure. So really just figure it out for yourself. The cleanup, there's a couple different ways you can do it. The best way to do it is just with your pointer finger or with something else. You can either go back or you can take it and rifle it together like this. If you get really good at it, you can do a one-handed cleanup, which looks like this. Put it all out, and then with your pointer and your middle finger and the rest of these fingers down here as well, you just rotate them. Bring them all together. And then you've got it all together. That one takes a little bit of time, and you need a really fresh deck or really strong fingers to get it down. So just keep practicing over and over again. Practice the fan. Just keep getting good at it. I promise it's not going to be easy, but the harder you practice and the more you practice, the more you're going to get it down and the simpler it's going to get. Once you have the original fan down, the giant fan is very, very simple. All you do is you take just less than half the deck. You don't want to get more than the deck because you want to fit all these cards in here. So it's just like you're shuffling together 2 decks of cards, okay? You're gonna put them together. Make sure that this smaller pack is inside the bigger pack because you don't want any of your cards to fall out. Position it just like you were doing a thumb fan, and then thumb fan it. And that was kind of sloppy, but essentially you get something like that. Turn it around, it's pretty interesting. It's not really useful in terms of using it for a trick, but it is very flashy, it's very flourishy, and it looks kind of cool, so you can use it to that advantage as well. So let's just do that again. You take half the deck, put them together like this, so that you could hold the top and the bottom like this and no cards would fall out, essentially. Hold it like you're about to do a thumb fan, and then perform the thumb fan. And that's the giant fan. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you learned something. You know, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. You know, if you didn't like this video, hit that like button anyways. You know, like I said, I appreciate it and it really does help me out. And also, make sure you guys subscribe so you never miss a video, and check out J Nation for more gaming and sleight of hand related content. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. I'm out.